What's up, guys? This is Steph Saucy here. Some call me Steph, some call me Saucy, but some say that Bitcoin is here to stay. What do you think? It's all up for grabs, and you could buy Bitcoin today, as they say. But look, before I get to anybody speculating on what I'm telling you what to do, that's not what I'm doing here. But let me just introduce you to Steph Saucy Talk. This is the first ever Bitcoin report reported by me because I love talking about stocks. I love talking about crypto. From what I recall, the earliest I've ever invested was probably about 10 years ago, right? So I was, in high school. I just got my scholarship, Long Island Caddy Foundation. Shout out to those guys. And I had a check, right? So I said to myself, if I'm going to get a check, let me invest into the stock market. I have been ever since then. I've had my wins, I've had my losses, but just like they say, minor setback for a major comeback. Am I right? Okay. Yeah, I think so. So look, we're talking about money, right? Money is involved in our lives every day, whether we're going grocery shopping. You see the prices of those? That's another story. We're buying clothes. We're buying a car. Anyway, shout out to my M3, by the way. If you didn't check out that Impact Festival, that is in my Steph M Life playlist. Just by the way, I'm just trying to give you a heads up. That way you know what I like doing. I like driving my car. That's what I do. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Bitcoin's price, my, interests and how I found about crypto, what can we see in the near term future, and if Bitcoin is the right investment for you and your portfolio. I mean, it is for me. So without further ado, I just feel like we got to get straight to it. But before I do, let me just say this. I am not a financial expert. This is for entertainment purposes only. So please, guys, you got to take everything what you see and do your own research, right? Because that's what I did when I first started investing into Bitcoin. I did my own research. All right, you see, I got my nice blazer on. I'm serious. I'm about my business today. All right, we're gonna talk about some stuff. All right, so let's just get focused and let's have a good time. Before I do, like and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. This is the Bitcoin report. All right, so if we're looking today at Bitcoin, guys, because we have to look at the price. It's well over 100,000, and let me tell you, I got in way before that. So that's not even a topic of discussion. But let's just take a look at the price, just so we're looking at to see what the movement is. Right now we're at 112,000. That is a heavy price tag right there, right, guys? The highest grossing asset right now, right behind that is Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Cardano, so forth and so on. Some great crypto projects out there right now that I'm looking at. But as far as Bitcoin, right? How did we get here? $112,000 for one coin. All right. So, and it's interesting enough because when I look at Bitcoin, I'm saying to myself, okay, it's expensive. Okay, but guys, don't look at the price, sort of say. You got to look at the long-term value, all right? So a lot of these cryptos that you see that, people are heavy on, they're going to die out, all right? They're all meme coins. Dogecoin, they had a great run. I made some money off of that during COVID. If you were with me during that time, or if you had your investment in Dogecoin, you probably, Dogecoin, let me just correct myself. You probably had a good time. You made a lot of money if you did it the right way. So, those are meme coins, right, guys? They have no value. They don't represent anything to further benefit your portfolio. Just to have it as maybe a pump and dump, you might get lucky. So all of this is I'm trying to tell you is that 112,000. Let's look at the price of Bitcoin 1 year ago to this day, because we've got 4 more months left in the year. All right, guys. So let's just take a look. Bitcoin, 1 year ago. Let's see, year to date. We got that price. Where is that? 1 year ago. So what's today? September 3rd. 59,000, guys. 59,000. That is nearly double your money. And of course, you know why that happened. The election. We had the election last year. Obviously, the election was in November, but that was a presidential year. And as soon as we get to November 60, then eventually 90 something thousand right after Thanksgiving. And now we're at the constant flow of 120,000, with Bitcoin hit an all-time high the other day, and now we're at 112. So we're looking good. So Bitcoin, man, in case you guys didn't know, it's a store of value. It's considered the king of the cryptos. It's a great hedge against inflation, as they say, in case you didn't know that. So pretty much what we're saying is that you got $1, right? You put it into Bitcoin. There's a most likely chance you're gonna double that money when you see interest rates stay up, because a lot of times right now we're in a very tested market where if the Fed says one day we're gonna lower interest rates, that could be a good sign, right? Because prices go up, stocks go up, crypto go up. So we got to look for that. But pretty much I just want to, talk about my journey into the crypto space. I heard about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Mind you, this is about 7-8 years ago, probably around 2018, 2019. I was just in college, right? I'm a college student, trying to find, different ways to connect with people, not thinking so much about investing as much. Like I said, I did invest, but I wasn't heavily into it because I was focusing on my books, focusing on doing what I had to do to get to where I'm at today. So I said to myself, man, this can't be right? You're investing into an asset that has no backing to it. It's not federally backed, right? So anything you put in and you lose your money, obviously, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful what you invested into. So I was like, man, I ain't doing that. I heard Bitcoin was at like 10,000 one day. A couple months later, it was at 20,000. Then it crashed. So then we keep saying to ourselves, why do these assets keep crashing? That's what I kept saying to myself. And mind you, Ethereum was like $7 when I was in college. Now it's at $4,000. So, and then I graduated in 2019. Soon after 2020, we all know what happened that year, right? COVID. So then I said to myself, okay, B, let me take the time out to learn about the crypto. Because sometimes you got to learn about these things in order to judge it at first glance. Because that's what we do as humans. We're very, creatures of habit, right? We do something. We go to work every day, right? We come home every day. We go to the gym. We go to movies. We go shopping. We could take travel, vacation trips. But we don't sometimes realize those are not, assets, right? Those are pleasures, that you enjoy doing. That takes money to do that, right? So at the same time, we got to also realize too that while we're doing that, let's still invest. Let's still try to build ourselves for the future. And I think when 2020 happened, I was on my TV. I was on Robinhood. I was looking at CNBC. I was looking at the market reports. I was looking at what the markets were doing. And that's when I really got into Bitcoin. And during that time, let's see, 5 years max, 2020 Bitcoin. Let's see. Excuse me, guys. I'm trying to catch my breath here. All right, so 2020 Bitcoin was around 9,000, as we could see. Pretty much in that price range for the whole summer. And then that's when it started breaking 30, 40, 50 something thousand. All right, so then I said to myself, damn, I kept investing. I kept seeing Bitcoin go up. And I'm like, yo, I gotta get up on this train, man. Let's get to the moon. I think that was the biggest thing for everyone, was like, yo, we're going to the moon. So I did. I kept going. I kept investing. And then, ladies and gentlemen, that's when I fucked up. Because once I hit rock bottom, with Bitcoin went from 58, then to 38, to 30, to 20, to 15, right? We kept going down. And I'm saying, no, to the point where Bitcoin hit like an all-time low. Well, now, obviously, that's not an all-time low, but for that time to go from 50-something thousand to then there's 16,000, that's unheard of, man. So then I was like, nah, something ain't right. So then this is where I'm about to get to the next point of today's topic is learning about Bitcoin. Why did the price swings do what they do? So then I had to realize, okay, let me see what's going on. Bitcoin has a halving, people. All right, so Bitcoin had its halving sometime in 2020. It was about March or April 2020, right? So once that happened, what it means is, I'll give you the definition right here. Bitcoin halving occurs approximately every 4 years. This is according to Coinbase, and it reduces the rate at which new Bitcoins are created by 50%. So you're basically getting one Bitcoin cut in half into the market. So once you're doing that, you're limiting the amount that you're selling. So obviously, we all know high demand, low supply. What's going to factor out more? The demand. So if people see that, they're going to jump in. That's why Bitcoin keeps going up and up. I said to myself, damn, I never knew that shit. So then I had to figure out, okay, damn, this is the best time to buy. Because when I really bought Bitcoin consistently, that was 3 years ago, when it was in the crypto winter. If you know what that is, that means when everything goes up for a good 2 years, then eventually, obviously, what goes up must come down. But when crypto goes down, it goes down for like, it went up 2 years, it went down for 2 years. So that's when I started to get into it. And then eventually, before I knew it, I already doubled my money 2 years later. But I had to keep investing into it. I didn't stop there. You get what I'm saying? So this is important that we understand this, because we look 5-10 years down the line, we're going to say to ourselves, damn, that was a great idea, just to keep going. Just set it and forget it. However you want to do it. If you want to invest $10 a week, $10 every 2 weeks, $10 a month, you got to understand, people, you got to let your money work for you. I think that's the best way I can explain it, because I didn't realize like how much money I made off of my profit from Bitcoin because I kept investing into it. Imagine if I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit here knocking myself, damn, you know what? You should have did more. Well, I had every opportunity to do so, and I'm telling you this today on this program, to the Steph Bitcoin Report. You get what I'm saying? So pretty much getting back to Bitcoin, I explained the halving. So then you got to say to yourself, okay, what are we going to do about Bitcoin? Are we going to keep investing into it based on market projections? Like, a lot of people are talking about $1 million price tag, 250,000. I mean, I can't tell you guys right off the rip that it's going to hit that mark, but pretty much, let me tell you this. This is how I knew Bitcoin was going to go crazy. All right. Once the stock market, look, you know how long the stock market has been open, guys, since the early 1900s, right? Warren Buffett, classy, top tier investor, Ray Dalio, all these people that you probably don't know, but you probably have to look them up. These guys owns millions and billions of assets in their portfolio. Once Wall Street adopted Bitcoin, I knew, yo, it's over. Game changing. And I'm going to show you right now why. Let's type this up. American companies that own Bitcoin in the U.S., of course. We're talking about a lot of things in the U.S. MicroStrategy, Tesla, Marathon Digital. They were probably the first ones to invest in, having an ETF for Bitcoin. Coinbase, of course. You got Block. And then, of course, the big companies, the Fortune 500 companies like BlackRock, which they are a monster at investing. Let's just go on the website real quick to see. Pretty much, all these other different people, Clean Spark, Riot Platforms, Mara Holdings. I mean, the list goes on. And this is why Bitcoin is going to continue to stay. And then once they announce the Bitcoin ETFs to the market, that right there was game changing, because now you got not only institutional investors, retail investors, people that are everyday people like me and you that want to get a piece of the pie. You put your money in and you're less likely to lose your money, right? Because you're invested into the Bitcoin ETF, not sort of say the actual Bitcoin itself. So I knew once that happened, that had to be a reason for me to keep investing into it, keep learning about it. Because if these big companies that own stocks every day, trade stocks every day, they want to get involved in it too, yo, that's millions and billions of dollars traded hands on Wall Street every day just for Bitcoin and cryptos itself. Obviously, we have the Ethereum ETF2 on the market now that you can go invest into if you want to. So this is why we got to stay focused, people. We got to stay focused. We got to try to build generational wealth if we can through this platform, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency platform. So that was just an example. I'm just trying to show you why it's important to invest, man, because my uncle tell me best, man. And shout out to my uncle. I got a lot of uncles, but this one uncle, he kind of exposed me to crypto early on, man. He's like, yo, man, trust me, bro. Get into the space while you can. Because, you know, you get in now, we're talking about 10 years later, I can sit back and say, damn, I'm seeking the fruits of my labor. Because I don't want to work forever, guys. I really don't. And America, it's sad to say, but, you know, a lot of people are stressed. People have demanding lives. They want to work and have, you know, nice things, you know. So what you got to do, right? You got to work for it. So this right here is going to offset those things in the near term future, or even in the short term future, depending on how you plan it out. You could make an investment today and Bitcoin could potentially hit the number that you want to. Because remember, right? The halving occurred last year. So the next one is in 2028. So for right now, Bitcoin has been reaching new heights, reaching new levels, and people, money's is going up. Everybody's getting to the bag. So why not us? And I wanted to do this today just to show you that, yes, I am not perfect. None of us are. But we have to understand we are not going to get this type of information from school. We're not going to get this type of information from our friends or families, you know, because we don't really focus on those type of things. But I think now is the time and place to do so. If anything COVID showed me, it showed me that you do not, I repeat this, you do not want to depend on the government. And that's one thing we got to avoid to do, guys. Yes, our social securities might be going out of style. Yes, our 401ks might not make us live as long as we want. Our retirement packages, all those things that I'm mentioning to you is not guaranteed. We might not make it to those 50, 60-year-old ages, man. I'm just being for real with you. When it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to the platform itself, let me show you this chart. Ever since it debuted, guys, all right, and it can only go back so far to like 2016, but we constantly see a triple top. All right, that's a market term. All right, it goes down, and then every 4 years it comes back to dominance. 2020, like I mentioned to you, it hovered around 9,000. 2021, 55,000. 2022, we hit 64,000 in the crypto winter. When I really got into it, 20,000. Now it goes back up again. 2024, 39,000. 2024, 64,000. And now we're at the peak right now, which is 112,000, as it says today on your screen that you're watching. So, look, if you can't get it from me, then I don't know what else to say. I believe in what I stand on and what I speak about, and that's why I'm doing this today. So take it from me. I think you should invest into Bitcoin. Yes, that sign, that particular sign right there, that's right behind me, holds a lot of weight, people. It's available for you. Cash App, Coinbase. There's so many other platforms. Robinhood. You know, I started investing into Bitcoin on Robinhood. You know, you don't have to start out with a lot. It could just be a little. Dollar cost averaging is the best way to do it. You know, so it's really to the point now where we have to look at all aspects of how to get our pockets, you know, bigger, how to get our assets bigger to make our family pass it down. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the most important thing, you know, about Bitcoin, about crypto, about stocks. But today, obviously, I'm specifically talking about Bitcoin. But man, I can't stress it enough, you know. So I really do hope that you can learn some more information while you can after watching this video, or while during you're watching this video too, by the way. So I like Bitcoin personally. I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't get into the crypto mining stuff. So please forgive me if you were looking for that today on this program. I don't know those things. I just know about the asset itself. I love talking about it, and I like, you know, sharing that it's okay to feel like it's too expensive. I get it. There was a pair of Jordans when I was a kid growing up. It was too expensive. So yesterday's price is not today's price. Still holds a lot of weight, people. And as you can see, prices keep going higher. Groceries keep getting higher. Cars keep getting higher. Getting your hair done, getting your nails done, that stuff keeps getting higher. Going out to eat. No one wants to go to Cheesecake Factory no more. It's either Nobu or a nice ribeye, depending on what type of lady you got. All right, you know what I'm saying, man? So, look, I really do appreciate this, but don't take it for granted, people, the opportunity that sits in front of you. Because remember, in life, my father always said this best: no one owes you anything in life. So you got to make it happen for yourself. So once again, thank you for tuning in. This was a short, you know, detailed broadcast. I wish I can go more on into it, but I don't have much time. My time is very precious, and I want to share what I love to talk about, stocks and crypto. And I hope you got something from this. Do you guys think I should do another Steph Bitcoin report? Leave it in the comment below. Like and subscribe to the channel, because you're going to see more of me, and you're going to hear me talk about Bitcoin too in the near future. All right, so thank you for tuning in. Some call me Steph, some call me Saucy. But until next time, enjoy, invest in yourself, and invest into Bitcoin if you can. All right, talk to you another time.